Hello, the Faniac is back with 2022 in review, part 2. This time, last video, I gave my thoughts on what I thought were the best movies overall that came out last year. It was purely catered to my list of what I thought were my favorite movies and what I overall enjoyed throughout the year. And now I'm gonna give my hot take of what I did not enjoy last year. I just want to say a huge disclaimer going in that my list is purely most likely going to trigger a lot of people on some level. It is going to be somewhat controversial, I know, because let's face it, we all have our own movies that we like and dislike, and that's fine. Don't hate on me because I don't like or dislike the same movies as you do. And I'm not gonna hate or dislike the movies you like or don't like either. We all like our own stuff. That's just the way it goes. And I just wanted to say that going in because more than likely, I'm gonna make a lot of people upset with this list. I just wanted to let you know going in that this list is purely circumstantial to what I personally did not enjoy. If you liked it, that is fine. Heck, I know a lot of people that really like these movies, and I'll probably mention that when I talk about them. Just wanted to let you know going in case you get upset or don't agree with me. But hey, we're all human beings. We all know what we like and what we don't like. This is just what I don't like in terms of movies that came out last year. So, why wait any longer? Let's go right in. At number 5, The Lost City. Okay? This one's already on the controversial list because I know a lot of people that actually really did like this movie. Mostly because from what I can tell, it is purely me guessing, but from what I can tell, it's purely catered to people in their late 30s to their overall 40s. Because that's the people I saw that were mostly enjoying this movie. Because I was watching it with my little sister and we barely cracked a chuckle throughout the whole movie. There were some funny moments, I'm not going to deny. It's not awful. It's not like throw up garbage. No, it's not. It's just, if anything, underwhelming. I saw the trailer and I thought, hey, this could be a fun movie overall. That's as much as I expected. Just a fun, tongue-in-cheek humor popcorn flick. That's as much as I expected. And personally, I just didn't like it because none of the jokes landed with me. It's a comedy, and it is hard for me to enjoy a comedy if I'm not laughing at the jokes. Probably 1 out of every maybe 5 jokes, I cracked a smile. It's not that much. Then again, though, maybe that's just my persona. I have a way different sense of humor than other people. Again, I know people that laughed at this movie and really enjoyed it. I just didn't. I was just really disappointed. That said, I thought there were some funny moments, and I thought the acting overall was pretty good. Story could have been a little better written, but hey, I think every other movie could be better written on some level. I mean, that's just the way life goes, I guess. But that's just my pick for number 5. I know people that like this movie, but it just wasn't for me. The jokes didn't land, and I thought it was a little underwhelming. But that's as much as I can say. At number 4, Hocus Pocus 2. Well, I saw it. As much as I could say. It's another Disney cash grab that's relying on nostalgia, and you can tell with this movie. Because if you love the first movie growing up, and I guess I could see you enjoying this. Again, I know some people that grew up on the first movie and enjoyed watching the new one. I know that going in. I did not personally grow up watching Hocus Pocus, but I checked it out once in a while every Halloween, and it's a very fun movie overall. It has its problems, but it's funny, it's clever on some levels, and it's a very enjoyable flick all around. This new one, it's not as funny, it's not as energetic, and it just feels like it's just coming out because Disney wants to make more money based off of nostalgia. That's as much as it feels. Sadly, I think they also tease a sequel at the end of this, so let's see if we get a Hocus Pocus 3 in the future. Though I personally hope not. At number 3, Spiderhead. This is another movie I know that some people didn't enjoy, But from what I could tell, the majority of people online and critics did not enjoy this. Again, though, I know some people that did. And hey, kudos to them. I am glad they got to enjoy this movie. And I don't think this is a bad movie overall, at all. Far from it. This is coming from Joseph Kosinski, who just recently came off of Top Gun Maverick. So, going in, I know this is a good director. He can make a good movie, and a great one at that. Maybe the bar was set so high that I had huge expectations going in. Because, man, this was really, really underwhelming. It's like, I haven't read the story it was based off of, but they introduced a lot of really dark, heavy topics that I feel like could have been more fleshed out. Because this is the modern world. You can introduce dark crap, but let's face it, if you just say it, we're not gonna be as horrified as if it would come out like 30 or 40 years ago. We're used to more gritty stuff nowadays. So you need to go harder and lean in more towards this dark cynicism. If this was played more of as again, I know it's going for like a dark comedy, so they amped up the darker jokes in this, it could have been a blast. But again, it takes itself a little too seriously on some level, which is fine. But the sadness is that it doesn't go as dark and heavy as it could. And again, its commentary is just... I haven't read the book, so I'm just going to say it's probably better in the book. At number 2, we have Disney's live-action Pinocchio. It's not as good as the original. It, if anything, is borderline boring for most of it. And for some reason makes odd creative choices with its characters and its storytelling. It's just very, very off in the really worst way I could ever say that about a Pinocchio movie. And considering we also got a better version just a couple months later, I'm just glad I found one I could enjoy and found really beautiful. But this one, I could arguably forget this in like a week. And this is coming from a guy who usually keeps good track of the movies I saw this year. So, take it from me. If I forget a movie I saw, that's bad. But, doesn't compare to the worst movie I saw this year. Or last year, I should say. Now, the worst movie I actually saw right at the beginning of the year. And the only reason I say it's the worst movie was because I completely forgot I watched it. Like, I did not even know I watched it for like the rest of the year. And when I looked back on the movies I saw, and then I forgot I saw it, and then the haunting memories came back, it was just not doing itself justice. But here it is. Number 1. Ice Age: The Adventures of Buck Wild. Okay, you could give crap about the Ice Age movies. I mean, they're cute, they're family friendly. I personally enjoy them on some level. I find something of value in everyone on some level. But this new one, it's hard to find something for me to like. Like, I will say this, Simon Pegg comes back as Buck, and he's probably the one good thing I could say about this movie, because he was having a blast, you can tell. He was having fun. I think he was improvising on some level, because he was very entertaining for the most part. He was very entertaining whenever he was on screen. And then they also had his like new partner / love interest / former sidekick. She was also very fun too. I liked their chemistry. They were very fun altogether. But the rest of this movie, yikes. The animation, stiff, lifeless. The acting, you could tell they replaced all the original cast members. And I don't know why. Because they sound like off replacements of them. And that's not cool. It sounds like people mimicking the other actors. And trust me when I say, it gets very tiring very fast. And the plot, oh my gosh, the plot. This doesn't even feel like a feature-length movie. It feels more like an extended TV pilot for a TV show. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case. They just totally forgot they were making an Ice Age movie, and they came across an unfinished script for a potential Ice Age TV show with Buck. And they thought, hey, we have Ice Age now, why not making this into a movie? I would not be surprised if that was the case, because this feels more like an extra 60 minutes were added to a half-hour TV pilot for an Ice Age TV show. If they were going that route with the TV show, I don't mind. But as a feature-length movie, it was boring. It was lifeless. I barely had fun watching it. I totally forgot I watched it. What more can I say, but it's bad. If I could review it right now, I would probably be merciful and give it 2 out of 5 lightsabers. But let's face it, if I'm going to forget it again, then just skip it. Don't watch it. It's just, you have better movies to watch than that. And like I said before, I personally found something of value with every other Ice Age movie. And this movie really, really put things into perspective and made me appreciate those movies a lot more. There are lots of other better kids films to watch. There's a lot of other ways to spend your time with your life. Just don't watch that movie. That's just my take. I don't know anyone, so far as I know, that liked it or even let alone watched it. Heck, everyone I talked to never even bothered watching it. That says a lot. With that said, though, that's just my list of what I didn't like this year. Go and rant about my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I personally found a lot of these movies very underwhelming, and some of them just very poorly made. But for the most part, most of these movies made the list because maybe the bar was set so high, or because I wasn't looking forward to seeing them. I don't know, but most of these were very, very underwhelming on some level. Pretty much a lot of levels. And then some movies just left no impact. They just never once made a connection in my brain that, oh yeah, I saw this movie. And there's better movies out there, in my opinion, that you can watch that came out last year than these movies that I saw. But hey, that's just my take. That's just my opinion. You guys can hate it, but that's just what I think. But hey, I'd be curious. What are your thoughts? What movies did you not like from last year? What are your top 5 worst movies that you saw? Please let me know. I'd like to actually know. Please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more fun videos just like this. And just find a fun movie and relax.